How's it going, everybody? It's after work. Just thought I'd jump in, do a little video. I want to finish bucking up that tree that we left. When was that? A week ago? It might have been 2 now. I got more grass to cut, so again, that's why I have chainsaws. I'm constantly cutting something. But thanks for coming back. I want to talk about the 371 today. I want to nitpick it to death is actually what I want to do. I am going to run it in the video. I had some really good comments in the last video. We'll touch on that in a minute. I wanted to take the time. Brock from B-Ray Farms. Check him out on Facebook, I believe, friends. Brock sent me this beautiful Sumara lightweight bar and a roll of Archer chain. Now, I'm waiting for... I ordered a chain breaker. I've always wanted one, and this was the excuse to get one. As soon as I get my chain breaker, we'll put together a loop of Archer chain and run this bar. So I just wanted to take a second and say thank you. Thank you, Brock. I appreciate it. I've always wanted to try one of these. These are super hard to find in Canada. Bars in general are hard to find. So this thing's... I'm sure a lot of you guys have run these. I've never had one. Anyhow, thank you. Okay, now also, I want to do the question of the day first. A fella named Michael emailed me, and he had a 2-part question. And this question I found interesting. The first part of the question was, how did I start porting? Well, I just wanted to cut wood faster. I'm a motor guy. I'm a hot rod chopper kind of guy. I like things to be modded. And so I just decided that I wanted to start porting. But really the catalyst for me was I ran a Donnie Walker. Hey, Donnie, how's it going? Donnie's got a new shop going on. It's neat to see that. Hope that's all going smooth for you, Donnie. But I ran a Donnie Walker 372 that a friend of mine had. And I was like, wow, I like this. And he's like, it's ported. And I said to myself, well, I got to learn how to do that. And that was it. One track mind. And the second part was, I found it interesting. How did I get my work out there? How did I get my work out with all the skeptics? And that's kind of interesting because I guess online there's a lot of skepticism. I think skepticism is good. That's why I send my saws to Buckin, so that he can give me real world feedback on what I'm doing. So to me, people running my saws and giving me notes makes me a better porter. In the real world though, around here, I would just go to the woodpile with my latest and greatest Tin Man Eyes saws and let my buddies run them. And, often I got good feedback. But the problem with that is if you're a local guy and you're not in a logging area, I find loggers they're the NASCAR drivers of the, of the chainsaw world. Those are the guys that you probably want to get your saws to if you're in that area. I'm not around any loggers. As you guys can see, there's not a lot of trees going on here, but which is funny when you think about it. But honestly, Michael, just start porting and play with different things. Try a high exhaust roof, try a low roof, try a wide port, short blowdown, long blowdown, different intake timings, different textures. It's going to take you years and years and years to develop builds that you like. And here's the thing, everybody's not going to like your builds, but that's okay. We all like a different truck or, a different pair of blue jeans. I mean, that's just how we are. So really, all I can tell people, and I tell people all the time, and it doesn't really matter what I think. I'm just a guy in my shop. But be open and honest with yourself. And when someone runs one of your builds and doesn't like it, just really think about what they're saying and think about whether you agree with them or not. I try to make a balanced saw. I like my saws to be on the warm side, but I want them to last. They got to have crack and pull. That's what we're going to be talking about today with this saw. Okay, last video, and again, Michael, thanks for sending that question. Just port, buddy. If you have any questions, you got my email. Send me an email. I'll help you if I can. This saw here, I got a lot of good comments. I even got a few emails on this, whether the saw has an air leak. It doesn't seem to. The high jet was a little lean. You guys were right. I turned it about 1/8 of an inch. I wasn't concerned about it. A slightly lean high jet, as long as it's not too lean, will give you all kinds of good crack. And you guys saw all the limbing I was doing the other day. And I just left it. If the saw starts and idles, I'll usually just leave it. I want my high jet a little rich, and I just leave it like that. People were saying they could hear like a warble. The warble is actually, this thing has a large exhaust port on it, and I find personally when you have a large exhaust port, they kind of sound different. And also remember, friends, this saw's piped. Pipe saws can sound funny, and they can be hard to tune. They just can be. But you guys were right. I gave it about 1/8 of a turn more low jet today. Also, I changed the spark plug. I had a little bit of an erratic starting issue with this thing, restarting. I put a new plug in it, and I actually pre-warmed this and tuned it already, friends. Let's see how this thing restarts. I want a 1-pull restart. So honestly, I think I had a couple of issues. Little lead on the low jet and my spark plug. I think the spark plug that was in this saw wasn't that good. So I put a BPM R7 in it, and I think we're good to go. What else? Couple of other things. The chain on this saw, I was not happy. You guys see that the chain was grabby. Rakers were slightly too low, friends. I didn't have my reading glasses with me. I'm getting to that age. They're actually on the sun visor of my truck, and they still are there. I grabbed the wrong raker gauge. I have one that's well worn that I use in winter. In winter, I find you got to drop your rakers a little bit lower to pull a good chip. I used my winter raker gauge. So all I did, friends, I just filed the chain back a little bit, and brought the teeth back a little bit, and just lowered them a bit. And I'm sure I'll have a smoother, nicer cutting chain. Also, the grabbiness. I have a single dog on this chain, and I'm in smaller wood. It is really easy to flex the bar. So anyhow, friends, let's go rip over to that tree that's laying there, and let's just go buck it up, and let's talk about the saw a little bit more after we're done. I want to give you guys the straight goods. And again, if you're cutting smaller, medium-sized wood, even if it's hardwood, this would be a good build for you. You know, I would say if you're just learning to build, get a couple of cylinders, keep moving your exhaust roof up until you're happy with it. You know, you're not going to know what you like. If you have a really sharp chain and you don't reef on the saw, sometimes I find for me a slightly higher exhaust roof will actually be faster in what I'm doing. So, but again, you might like, this saw's like at 98, you might like a 102 with 20 degrees of blowdown. I can't tell you guys what you're going to like. I've done short blowdown, medium, long blowdown. This saw is long blowdown, and it actually runs pretty good. I actually started with 25, 26 degrees of blowdown because I may move it up. But honestly, friends, I'm going to run this again, and I think what I'm going to do, next time you see this saw, let's tear it down and look at it and see what 2 or 3 tanks of runtime I've done. And also, I think I'm going to cut a pop-up piston and bump up the compression substantially on this, and then we can run it again. Anyhow, let's go cut some wood. That way I can mow that section. I've been mowing around it, and let's just have some fun. Tank 2 on this thing. Let's see how it runs now. Does it idle better? Does it start better? I think it will with that little bit of low jet tweak. And again, this thing's awesome. I can't wait to bolt it to something. He starts again. When I'm working on a saw, I'm not really saying, hey, look at how fast this is when I'm first running it. I just want to see how stable the build is. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just playing with it, seeing where it wants to live. It definitely starts better now with a little more low jet and that new spark plug. I hear a warbling sound that people were mentioning. I think that's the pipe, friends. I got that UFO on here, eh? Anyhow, I don't know, the saw seems to... This is oak, seasoned about a year, hard as a rock. Not bad. Friends, I gotta put 2 dogs on this thing. Let's try some ash. Hold on. Ash is even harder than our oak. This is green ash. Down a year. This is about as hard as the wood comes here. Just eating lunch here, throwing together this little video for you guys. Here's the last thing I did, the last part of the day. I took the 371, this high RPM, high exhaust roof, you know, stock compression, long blowdown, long intake saw, and I buried it into the last little piece of that rock hard oak that I was gnawing on with the 288. Let's see what it does. I'm curious. The only way to know is to put your saws in uncomfortable scenarios, and that piece of wood stretches chains. Every chain I've put in that log gets stretched. Anyhow, check this out. Okay, so what did we learn today? Well, my low jet was a little lean. I'm glad you guys mentioned that in the comments. I like a little constructive criticism. It does help me. This thing felt good to me and it ran nicely, so I left it. It does have a little bit of a warble when it's coming from high jet to low jet. I have another saw that's very similarly built to this that has a similar thing it does. I really don't think this thing is an air leak. It runs upside down and on its side. Let's see how this thing restarts now. I was having a hard time restarting this the other day when it was hot. I would say that's fixed. So I gave the low jet an extra eighth of a turn. It still didn't start very good. So I changed the spark plug, and there you have it. It's perfect now. I like my saws to start one pull cold and consistently. Um, Now I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. This piston was actually done for a different top end, and what I ended up doing, this top end had the shortest intake timing of all the cylinders I had. So I ended up porting this and throwing that piston in it. But you know what? I didn't measure the squish, and you know what? I want to measure that exhaust roof one more time. So next time we see this saw, now that you guys have seen it run in hardwood, softwood, limbing, it's got good crack, good pull. Now that you guys have seen this thing run, let's scrutinize it a little bit more. Let's put it on the bench this weekend. I'll do that. I'll put the timing wheel on it and measure the squish so you guys can see. I have a feeling this thing has loose squish. Did it matter? I don't think so. It's a good running saw, and you know it seems to be okay. So the next build we do, I'm gonna do shorter blowdown and lower exhaust roof. That'll be a 32-inch bar build. And then this thing, friends, you know what I think I'm going to do? Let's chuck up another piston in the lathe. I'll put a pop-up in this and jack the compression up a bit, and then we can run it again. And then, if you guys want, we can pitch the transfers up or raise the transfers. There's still lots we can do with this build. I think it'll only get better. I don't think it'll get worse. We could also advance the timing a bit. I don't think this build needs advanced timing. It's got good crack. But there you guys go. Try different things. I'm actually shocked at how well this runs. And it's a nice build, and it's stable. It starts, idles, and tunes really easily. And the jets aren't open too much. It restarts good. It idles. I mean, this is a nice build. I'm fairly happy with this saw. But there's about 10 different ways we could build this. So let's keep doing more builds. We can play with this more. I got 2 or 3 more bottom ends that we can do different builds on. And when we're done, we can have a high exhaust roof, a low exhaust roof, and a medium exhaust roof. And we can run them all, and I'll give you guys the straight goods. So again, if you cut smaller wood, you know, you're not burying a 32-inch bar, this build might be perfect for you. You know, shoot for like a 99, 100 exhaust roof. Upper transfers will be about 25 degrees there. 154 to 156 is generally where I like my intake timing. This one's at 161, so it actually runs okay. So anyhow, friends, thanks for watching. Take her easy later, and try different things. Maybe you'll find a combo that you like. I did here. I'm actually shocked. I did this build because I was curious to see how it would run, and I'm glad I did. I learned something. So that's what this is about. Keep your mind open and just have fun and try different things. Only you can decide what kind of saw you like. I can't do it for you. So thanks for watching. Take her easy. Later.